our listing presentation. All right, so we just want to help you guys understand the value and purpose of listing presentations and help you develop a better understanding of how to excel when you're on those listing presentations and how this tool can really help keep you focused and guided through your listing presentation, and then how to properly create them through our Megaphone system. And then we, of course, want you guys to walk away from today's meeting accomplishing some goals. So just keeping this in mind is super helpful. So maybe you're looking for some talking points during listing presentations or creating your customized listing presentation, or even gain more listings, or just might be here to see how and what Megaphone is. All right, so what exactly is a Megaphone listing presentation? So Megaphone is the system from Remax International that allows you as an agent to design and create your own marketing materials. A lot of you probably remember this as Design Center, which has now been merged into Megaphone. And with that merge, they actually created a lot more content and things that you can customize yourself. So with the Megaphone listing presentation, I got a ring light on here too. Helps agents, so it's in front of my computer, helps agents design a customizable listing presentation. And by using this one, opposed to paying someone to create one for you, this one is going to be customized to you, and it's going to hit all those 3 levels of marketing. So it's going to brand you with Remax International, Remax Advantage Realty, and then also you yourself as an agent. So that is really nice to have those 3 targets hit and customized. And a lot of times when you hire someone to do a listing presentation for you, they don't necessarily understand who you are as an agent, who your brokerage is that you work for, or really a lot of times the core values of who Remax is. So it can be difficult for them to create something that really
Please mute. That's Mr. Allnut. Of course, he's causing trouble even virtually. Gotta love it.
I thought it was muted.
Uh-huh.
so
Yeah, and
this
really quick,
allows.
I'm sorry, Megan. Yeah,
No, you're
really
good.
quick,
Go
this
ahead.
kind of goes to what we've talked about for a while, where you are positioned not in front of or behind the balloon, but next to it, harnessing the power of this international brand, putting it to your local touch, and using it as a resource where, you know, a lot of times people position themselves without the brand at all, but Remax spends ridiculous amounts of money to push this brand and everything like that. So it's really advantageous to use some of these tools to harness the brand and make it really easy, so you're not redesigning stuff. They spend a lot of dough on that.
Absolutely. They're one of the most recognized brands in the world. And that's not even just in real estate. That's in, you know, Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, all those. The Remax balloon is way up there. So having your materials designed correctly really does help boost you in, you know, recognition and using all that money and those years that Remax has put behind that balloon and making it recognizable. All right, so Megaphone's listing presentation templates allows for you guys as agents to make sure they that everything that you need is included on those listing presentations. And so that's going to include everything about you, everything about Remax International, and it's just going to set you apart from anyone else's listing presentation that you know, may not have been created the same exact way. All right, so why do you need a listing presentation? That's always a good question. I'm sure there's plenty of people who may have gone out there and done one without one. Me personally, I'm a visual learner, so seeing it right in front of my face really helps. I obviously like colors and pictures. So having that listing presentation and something you can also leave with your clients when you are going on that is super important. You know, giving them that material to hold on to and review and look back at and even compare if they're bringing in multiple agents is really nice. So it's important to have one, but also to have one that's clean and accurate. Um, so yeah, they're key when trying to convince your client that you're the right agent. And providing them with one that's Remax branded and highlights you as the agent. Remax, your potential client's home. There's a section in here we're going to go over where you're highlighting their home, you're putting your CMAs in there, and you're incorporating all of that about their house and houses that have sold near them right in your listing presentation. So it really does do a great job in showcasing all of that. All right, so we're gonna get started. Apparently I'm not great at tech like I thought I was. So we're gonna switch over to Megaphone and we're gonna walk through those steps. Hopefully I can get this one a little bit smoother.
Really quick, while she's getting that ready, show of hands, who has a digital listing presentation that they use when they're going out on listing appointments? Okay, Ken, Brandon. Do you guys use a laptop or an iPad or something like that? Yep. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I find that to be one of the more popular versions because you have it with you. It can be a little dynamic and everything like that. But things can also be printed, as Megan's saying, to give them a leave behind, and that way they have something they can hold on to. But yeah, I think a laptop or an iPad is often a solid choice when doing this kind of stuff.
Yeah, and so the way that this saves too is a PDF. So you can always, you know, email it to them. You can actually, we'll walk through, but I'll show you a section where you can actually plug their email in and have it emailed to them. So they do make it super simple and super easy to distribute that, whether, you know, whatever your preference is. I definitely agree with Yanni on the, you know, bringing in an iPad or a computer and having it nice and clean and, you know, up to date on technology is awesome. All right, so here, everyone can see the screen, I'm hoping. So we're in Mac Center, which is sometimes confusing. So just www.remax.net, and then you have your login. If you're having any issues getting into Mac Center or not remembering your password or anything like that, please reach out and we'll help get that reset so that we can get you in and using all these tools. So on the left-hand side, I clicked apps and we're gonna just take a peek. Here's all the different apps, Booge, First, and we'll go into Megaphone. Oh, Chris Senafani, it wants me to log in as you. I don't know why it always does that for me. Okay. I promise it's usually not this hard, guys.
Just
Right.
erase her name and
It's not gonna let me log into mine. So fun, here's a trick. So when it does that, log out, and here's what remax.net looks like. All right, now we're gonna log in again. And hope it works this time. All right, cool. So we're in. Sometimes it will prompt you. I log in and out of tons of agents' accounts all the time, helping them fix things. So you usually won't get that setting error, but if it does, just log out and log back in. For some reason, if you try to log in through that page that it showed, it actually will tell you your password's wrong. So, but your password isn't wrong. So just log out, log back in. Weird glitch thing. All right, so this is Megaphone, and as you can see, we have your dashboard, listings, content, and settings. So for this, we're gonna wanna go into content, and here is the section where there's all different things you can make. So this is basically like your own customized portal of Remax content that you can create. So we have printable content, we've got the hustle videos, branded content, Photofi, Booge campaigns, social media ads, and social media video ads. For me personally, I always just click on printable content because that takes me to the home portal of everything that I can design. You'll also notice it's popping up in different pages. So that is the correct way to do it, even though it might not say Megaphone at the top.
Show of hands while this loads really quick. Who has gotten into Megaphone before? Okay, maybe about half, and anybody with this without their camera on, I'm automatically assuming their hand is way up as well. So probably more than half. But yeah, so for people that have been with Remax for a long time, it's gone through a couple iterations. Design Center was probably what a lot of people remember, and that's been migrated now into this Megaphone section. And Megan's not going to get into this as much today, but when you're at that initial page, there's a section where it imports your listings automatically. So that information, kind of similar to how Design Center worked, you're able to pull your listings, and the information is all saved in there, which is great, and you can create content that way, already branded and all that good stuff. So.
I love this.
Yeah, well, if it doesn't load either, we can pull up the example and then we can go through some questions, because Megan went through this process. And as with anything, there's glitches and this and that, but Megan went through this process and then created an example listing presentation. All of them have a lot of fields to edit and customize. Many of them you can kind of maintain because they're going to go based off of your brand and who you are. So any reviews and stuff like that, that stuff is, you can use in perpetuity in your presentation. A lot of the tools that Remax offers and where they market towards is stuff that can be used for all of them. But the information for this house in particular is obviously going to be unique, which is why it's wise to kind of keep them updated on each presentation.
I'm clicking the wrong stuff. Okay. I don't think it's gonna work for us. All right.
Let's see if I can. Do you want to go ahead and just give the example and we can walk through it? And then as people have questions and stuff like that, we can go ahead and answer some and then set up some meetings after this, because I know that a number of people do not have a listing presentation like this. So after you get into the site and everything like that, there's a number of fields that come up. If we can use our imagination time this morning, right, as we adapt to whatever glitches tech throws our way.
Absolutely.
And it's going to have all of these different fields that ask names and some the housing information and stuff like that, which can also be pulled through Bright MLS.
All right. So you can see this, Yanni?
Yep.
All right, cool. So this is just a template that I went through and created to show you guys the example and the different areas that are customizable and kind of just what it looks like. I did use my home address, so bear with me. But I want you guys to get the full effect. Hopefully no one just, shows up at my house, but hey, if you do, knock on the door, come on in. So this photo I did place in there. You could place a photo of your client's home, or just a house that you're really proud of that you sold, whatever you feel is best, but this is just a stock photo. And so you'll see over here, it automatically brands the Remax Advantage Realty portion, and then it will say exclusive marketing proposal. You'll plug in your client's name right here, and the address. So then it also will auto populate some, not all, some of the wording. So selling your home is one of the most significant transactions of your life. I take my responsibility very seriously and approach this task with sensitivity, concern, and the highest professionalism. Thank you for this opportunity. So it will, have some verbiage in there for you that's really nicely written. You can change it, whatever your preference is. So this is the cover. And then the first page that it takes you into is a comparative market analysis for the home that you are going on for the listing presentation. These are, again, my neighbors or old neighbors. So you can see right here, you can put in the address, what exactly you felt. I just picked the bedrooms, bath, square footage, but whatever you felt really stood out or made that home listed at that price. And then the date it sold and the price, a picture. So yeah, and you can do that for 3, and then you can come up with the recommended listing price for your property.
You got to get a better listing agent. Holy cow, 0?
Yeah, I know,
Really
right?
giving it away.
Well, I still live at home, so I don't own it. I wasn't gonna make any assumptions either, and then, someone told me I was wrong because I'm not actually an agent. But yeah, I probably should get a better agent. You know anyone, Yanni?
I don't.
Oh,
That's good.
darn. All right. So the next page is the marketing plan. So you can decide what you want in these sections. Remax does offer some assistance as far as the title and what you would want to put in there. But for the most part, this has been pulled from some listing presentations that people have shared with me. So again, I just put over here the marketing plan, how exactly I market the property as the agent, what I do on an international level, a brokerage level, and then yourself as the agent. And if you really look at some of this stuff, the content is really great because even though you might think you're not doing these things, Remax is doing them for you, or we're doing them for you as the brokerage. The web-based marketing, the digital advertising, all that kind of stuff is done because your listings are automatically put on our website. If you have your Remax Bouge website set up, they're automatically going to yours. If you don't, please call me so we can get that set up.
We have a quick question too.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the order of this, and I'm pretty sure it's all editable, but can you do the marketing plan first, comp second, whatever?
Yes, you can. You can definitely pick. So I just kind of ran through and did it in the order that they said, but you can definitely change it. It's all editable. Edited. I hate that word and I have to say it a lot. It all can be edited. But you can change the order for sure. So the template that you'll see, you can type in what the heading is, and then you can type in what you want to type as far as the content. And then I wanted to leave some space so you guys can see that you can pick your own pictures, or Remax also has some in there already for you.
And that's why when we talk about this on a broader scale, it's important to set up a meeting with Megan and get a lot of this stuff, because a lot of it is going to remain the same for all of your listing presentations. These marketing pieces, the things that will change, of course, are the information on the house that you're looking to list, and then the comps that are going to be for that home, and some other stuff too. But a lot of this stuff, yes, it does take some setup, but this template is clean. It's very well designed. So just doing that initial setup, I think, will be a huge help. And then as you go on, you just make those little changes per the house.
Exactly. So this is a good one that is pre-done as far as Remax's content for you. I think I did change this one, but they do have the listing syndication. And as you can see, it has all these images that show you the different templates that Remax has available to you in Megaphone as agents. It plugs these pictures in to tell them, like, we have digital banners, we have video content, we have social templates to market your property. So it is really nice that they have these graphics already put in there, nice and neat. So you're just going to want to go in and fill in your content and match it with their titles and headings and plug some photos in where you want to change them. All right. And then open houses. So you can definitely do this in a different order, but providing personalized service, photos are powerful. Again, these are, Remax words, and also their images of all the different places that the listing and the photos will be placed. Internet exposure. So again, this is one you can include, not include, totally up to you, but additional exposure for your listings may include the sites of Remax partners. I have seen a good amount of listing presentations that include all the different places that your house will be marketed on. So again, you can add in Zillow if you like Zillow, realtor.com if you're partnered with them. Whatever it is that you want to put in, you can, add these logos in here too.
And I know a lot of people are aware of things like CNN sites and the broader things that Remax pushes out to. So that could also be stuff that's tossed in the mix there. I think ESPN, CNN, ABC. There's a ton of things that Remax pushes it out to.
Absolutely. So brand awareness. This is one of their graphics, where 9 out of 10 home buyers and sellers know who Remax is. If you really want to get into it, you could customize this little sign in Photify if you're into all the different tech that they have out there. But yeah, this is great. It lets them know who Remax is. Most people do already know, but it's just a quick and easy reminder. And again, if you're really looking into the details here, you're in compliance. Your logo is correct. It might be really hard for you guys to see, but this little R, that's important. It's a really important stat that, I'm sure someone else would love to argue about with you. So Remax is really covering you on every single end when you're using their materials and making sure that you're in compliance. I know that's a big fear for all of us, and it's always in the back of our mind.
I think that piece really hits home for a lot of folks on here that go up against not big branded competition,
Mm-hmm.
because it's a really easy way to say, look, everybody knows Remax. Whatever this other brand is, they're not synonymous with real estate like Remax is. And then having the source, I think, is brilliant, because like Megan is saying, people might say, where is that coming from? Well, there was a study that has to do with brand awareness and real estate organizations. Nobody comes close. And that's just the facts. So of course people are going to recognize a Remax agent, and that, I can guarantee you, gives you clout in your listing appointments. It 100% does, because it shows that you're aligned with a professional brand, right? And that instantly gives you credibility to the consumer.
Yes, absolutely. And I think I've had a conversation with probably a bunch of you before about how the Remax websites are beneficial for that, because a lot of times, what are people using websites for when there's Facebook out there? Or I get the question, why do I need a business Facebook if I have a website? So again, this is just verifying that you are who you say you are. You're not a scam. You are really with Remax. You're on their website. You're using their materials. So it really does help back you up and gain that trust and confidence in who you are saying you are as a real estate agent.
Trust is a huge word there, because that's what it comes down to when somebody's giving you the privilege to sell their, most often their biggest asset, right? They have to trust you. And all of these things play into that trust to back you up, to show that you know what you're talking about. You're a professional realtor. This is what you do. So yeah, trust is key.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Um, So here's even a page where you can plug in your personal stats, and they design it real nice and, I want to say cute, but you know, professional with how Remax brands themselves. I have not done 5 transactions. Um, my average sales price is $5. I wish I could buy a house for $5.
You got to bump those. Those are rookie numbers right there.
Yeah,
You got to bump
yeah.
those numbers up.
5 is my favorite number, so that's
Mhm.
why I went with it. But yeah, so this is nice. You can plug in your information, and again, it's putting in what you've done and branding it with Remax, using their templates. You know, you're following up their stats with your stats. So it's really nice to have that kind of stuff right plugged in there and super easy to create.
Really quick, we had a question about kind of guiding through the process of uploading information. We did have a little tech difficulty with the site, but what I would suggest, Liddell, is let's set up a meeting with you and Megan and to go through this, because it's going to be difficult to show. I know a lot of people are kind of hands-on, so it might be good to have a one-on-one with this walk through. That way we can help spark some ideas about the customizable and personal information that you want to be putting in. Um, so yeah, we can certainly let's mark it down to definitely set something up with you. That way we can get you all set.
Absolutely. And a lot of times, you know, these presentations are great. I love doing these. But again, I really do enjoy meeting with you guys one on one. You know, I know there's probably a thought in your head right now that's like, okay, but what if everybody on this meeting is using the same listing presentation? And then we're just all the same. And that's why I like doing these one-on-one with you guys, is finding those different ways and different things to put in about you that I see comes out in your marketing about you as an agent, and differentiating your plan from someone else's. And that's where that, you know, spending the time to go through it and set it up together really, really can help. um, and then you're really just hitting all those different bases and being able to personalize it to your liking, but still using all the stuff that makes you look professional.
Yeah. Everybody's network is unique as well, which is
Absolutely.
kind of what we talk about when it comes to social media and stuff, and why uh, we're not a one size fits all kind of solution. It's take everybody as they come individually and make sure that it's set up in a way that speaks to your network, because maybe your network is all about video. Maybe your network isn't on the internet, that's so there's lots of different ways to do it. And the key in a world with so much noise, right? We're getting advertised to constantly all across the board. Differentiation is key, and authenticity is key. So that those being yourself, that's something that nobody else is gonna have. And that's finding that voice and understanding how to apply that is something that we're here to help you with. So
Absolutely. All right. So now we have global reach, which is, you know, all the stats for Remax themselves across the whole world, and just letting them know that, you know, this is all of where Remax is and how large they are, and, you know, worldwide exposure, that they're not actually just saying that. They actually have it, and they have the stats to prove it. And again, you can see in really small gray print as of year end of 2020. So again, those will probably update soon with 2021 stats, but you don't have to worry about that because they're plugging that in. I didn't type in anything for this section. That was something they automatically put together and threw in there. So
And I'll tell you this about for the global reach, when it comes to luxury type houses or houses over a certain price point, or all of you folks down the shore with vacation type houses, this global reach matters because their listings, their information is being shot out to people, investors all across the world. And we've seen it happen where people from Canada or from Greece, representing Greece, they will try to get information, and Remax is pushing it out everywhere. That way, when you're selling this to your clients, when you're talking in the listing presentation, that's kind of what you want to remind them of. Nobody else has the global reach that Remax has. We're getting your property out, and people in India are seeing it. So especially when it comes to beachfront or luxury, it may not be somebody in the immediate market that is able or willing to purchase it, by expanding the network in such a massive way, you're exposing yourself to way more potential buyers. So that's how this piece can kind of be sold and played in a little bit.
Yes, absolutely. That's a great point. All right. So now there's a whole section about you. And the cool thing is this, you don't have to type this every time you do it. You don't have to retype this stuff every time you do it. So they pulled this right from my profile, which mine's set up a little different as I'm staff, not an agent, but it would pull up everything that you have in your bio, your contact info, what your license number is. Mine's 12345 6, in case anyone was
Checks
wondering.
out for sure.
Your email, your phone number, your picture, what office you're out of, your office location, phone number, all that fun stuff that has to be in there. But again, it also adds your bio about you and everything that they, need to know about who you are as an agent. So that's really nice that it automatically pulls that right from my Remax profile. I don't have to type that in. However, you can add more if you like.
And that plays into the trust, that authenticity, reminding these people that you're a person and that you know what you're doing, and that being authentic is what people want, especially when they're being hit with so much shenanigans out there. Being true to who you are is it's what going to touch people and connect with them.
And I'm going to touch on this real quickly, but you can see right here my remax.net email. So they're even branding you with that. And a lot of people don't know what the remax.net email is. They ask me, how can I check it all the time? And, I was wondering the same thing when I first started here. I'm like, did I miss an email account I'm supposed to have? Just to clarify, the remax.net email is just a forwarding email. So that actually just goes right to my RMA email that I use. And what that does though is it's giving you that backing of the brand. It's giving you that legitimacy that you are with Remax. You have a Remax email. You don't check it. It just gets sent to your email. And again, that's a setting in your profile, which we can always set up a meeting and go over to discuss. But again, if you publish your website, your email and your website name that they give you are going to match. So it makes it easier for them to find you on the web if they're also, using your email. So they really do the best in always to brand you with them, but also give you that personal touch of, it's your name. It's not just any Remax email. So yeah, everybody has one, in case they were wondering. It is not an inbox, but you do have one. It's just a forwarding one to look nice for marketing purposes.
That's a really good point. Remax fights hard to keep that kind of sacred, that at Remax email. They don't really allow people to just create domains and stuff like that with their name in it. So it's, again, part of that branding that gives you that legitimacy, shows that you're a professional. When you have a at Remax email, it's way better than just like an at Gmail, or way better than like an at AOL.
Mhm.
I'm looking around. I'm not seeing anybody that may have I don't know. Maybe somebody does. It works, whatever works for you. But that at Remax, that domain strength, and it all being connected, it kind of hammers home again the power of the brand that's behind you.
It's also going to keep you safe because it's not an inbox. So because it's not actual email, if you're using that instead of the email that you actually use, you're putting your email out there less and less, but you're using this basically. It's almost like a layer of protection in a sense, because that email can't get hacked because it's not an actual inbox. But if you're marketing that opposed to your actual email, then your real email account isn't being out there in the public as much. And so that's another layer that they do for security, so that your email isn't getting hacked and it's not public information. So that's a really nice feature that they also have with that. All right, back to the presentation, or the listing presentation. There's a section where you can add your clients' reviews. You can add the testimonial right here, who they are and the title. You can pick a picture of yourself. I definitely don't recommend putting a picture of whoever left the review for you. I hope people don't put me in their listing presentations if I left them a review. But I mean, I wouldn't get mad, but again, it's just one of those things. It's not worth all that. But yeah, there's a section for 4 different reviews. So again, you're backing yourself up saying, hey, I have done a good job. I am a great agent. Look at what these people wrote about me. Um, so that's another layer to the trust that you're trying to gain during this presentation. All right. And then there's a section for your brokerage. So we obviously wrote about ourselves. I put these little photos in here, but you can change them. You can put houses you've sold. You can definitely put RMA if you'd like, whatever you feel fits best. But it gives you an opportunity to describe your brokerage, who we are. We're a client-focused full-service real estate firm. It just, it really drives it home that, again, you know what you're talking about. You know what our brokerage offers for them. We have mortgage partners, insurance partners, 7 locations, all these different things that, again, is gaining their trust. I would recommend, adding our contact info too, in case they might, want to reach out and just check. I don't know. Some people can really be, some clients can definitely be very detail oriented, so they might want to call and verify.
Yeah, and really quick, so there's a question, and I'll touch on something too. With when it comes to the brokerage, a reminder that not all Remaxes are created equal. What we offer as a Remax, all Remaxes are independently owned and operated, or most of them, I guess. And what we offer as Remax is much different than what some of the smaller boutique offices offer as Remax. So I think it's something, not that a lot of times it's over the client's head that there's a difference between this Remax and that Remax, but it might be something that could be brought up depending on who you're speaking with, to mention, hey, and just so you know, you're probably interviewing other Remax agents too. Not all of them are created equal. Not all of them have the services and the backing and the legal support that Remax Advantage Realty has. So although you may be getting the balloon and that branding and some of that stuff, there's a difference between, Remax XYZ and Remax Advantage Realty. We've been around for 30 years. We have the experience. We've got the goods. So there definitely is a difference between individual brokerages there. And then Ellen had a question. I believe, yes. So she had asked if you have AOL, MSN, or other, to quote, outdated emails, and I would agree with that that terminology. But will it forward? My understanding is yes. Yes,
Yeah.
it's to any active email account.
Yep, absolutely. It definitely does. Any of those email accounts, you can definitely have it forward to them.
Would you have had to set up your profile first, or will
You
it
can
just
change it at any point as to where it's going. So it just depends. Like, I chose Megan.Jesse as I think they give you like 3 choices the first time you log in. Here's another fact: if anyone wants to change theirs, I can't do that for you, unfortunately, because that would then lock you out of your account, because I would have to go in and reset your username and your password. So they don't actually allow me to help with that. But if you call Mac Center support, which, shoot me an email, shoot me a text, give me a phone call, I'll give you that number and explain the process, they'll reset it for you. So if, I've seen where some people have chosen, they might have chosen mjesse dot or at remax.net, and you want to change that. So yeah, you can go in and change that. You can change the forwarding email, which email address it's going to, in your Mac Center profile.
And that'll be the top right, that drop down, right? In the Remax profile, edit your profile, and it'll show where you're forwarding. It'll show what your remax.net email is, and it'll show where it's forwarding to.
It'll be the ISP address is what it's called. Yep. So you can change that at any point in time. If you change your email, update your email, Even if your email name looks nice, and it's at gmail.com or whatever, again, it's just another layer of security. It's another layer of branding for you. So I definitely recommend using them. And I get asked if there's lag time. There really isn't, because I send myself self stuff through there all the time. There really isn't, maybe like a minute. And I've had that happen with Gmail and all different kinds of emails before. So it's definitely a great feature that they recently came out with, probably within the last 2 years. All right. So then again, professional photography, you can add in, your specific photographer you use, pictures they've done. But again, it's just adding in all of your recommended people that you use, and branding it with Remax and having them show. I don't think that was, yeah, that's definitely not accurate before and after.
They
But
both
so
look
you can see.
fantastic. Yeah.
Right. We don't have the befores.
Well, this
Not
plays
great.
to staging as well, because a lot of times, especially for the bigger listings, you're going to want to add staging as a service, and showing that example of the before picture and after of staging and photography. You could have like a cell phone picture of the same bedroom and then a professional photo of the same bedroom, and visually people just understand it. They're just like, oh, okay, of course, yeah, there is a difference. It is a visual medium. This stuff matters. And when you're a professional agent, you're taking those little touches. You're not doing the cheap thing and just going through and taking a couple of cell phone shots. You hired a professional stager and a photographer to position the property at the highest possible level, because we all know that as people click through photos, you might get through a few. If you don't like them, you're moving on. So, and in a world where attention spans are, that of a gnat, you need to catch it real quick. And the staging, the kind of nude, neutral backgrounds and stuff like that make a huge difference when somebody's envisioning themselves uh, to purchase or live in the home.
Yep, absolutely. So yeah, and you can add, whatever you as an agent, I don't have any recommended people, but again, you can add in all that information and put it in multiple spots. Contract negotiation. So you can, explain the different processes of what the phases that they're going to go through are. Contract negotiation, accepting an offer, all that different information that you find valuable. Maybe even your tips and tricks for, open houses. I think that was included on there. Make sure the grass is mowed, all those different stuff. You can really get in there and personalize it to what you recommend as an agent and the things that you feel are super important. I definitely recommend, if you are interested in starting this process of creating yours, or updating yours, go through and put all this in a Word document or Google Doc, whatever you use, but have it all written out, know your different sections and have it, pre-planned. And then when you're going to plug it in, it's just copy and paste and super quick and easy. And not, super confusing when you're plugging it into the template. So
This slide's actually really interesting to me, because when we talk about contract negotiation, I think sometimes our people maybe underestimate their skills. I don't know, but one piece, especially when you're talking to a prospective seller, is in regards to negotiation. If you're going against somebody that's trying to discount the commission, you got to remind them, well, they're willing to give away their commission here. How are they going to help you negotiate the highest price for your home if they can't even negotiate the price for themselves? You got to stand by your value, and discounters are always going to exist. Everybody's going to race all the way to the bottom, but people pay for quality, and using that kind of information. Say it's a luxury deal, you're walking up and they've got a, $150,000 car in the lot, using that information to then say, oh, well, you're so willing to pay for quality. That's what you're doing here. Somebody that's giving it away clearly doesn't believe in their value. So here I am. I negotiate for myself hard, and I'm going to negotiate for y'all hard. Is there a limit to the number of pages you are allotted? I don't think so.
I there is probably a certain amount of sections. You probably could have added maybe 3 or 4 more than I did, but you can always, like I said, they're pretty much will blank when you get them. Some are, have the Remax stuff like the global and all that. But they're pretty much well blank. So if you're familiar with PDF, you can always, pop out a page or save the pages individually or send them to me and I'll organize them all for you. PDF editor is like a lifesaver. So if you don't have it, again, I'm always happy to help and walk through the process. Like you said, once you have the base foundation of this, like I would not be making a new contract negotiation page every single time I'm making a new listing presentation. I'm just going to be updating the cover and the CMA and that sort of stuff. So again, once we have the original done, I'd be happy to, help you with it, look through it, organize it, and make additional pages if needed. But there shouldn't, I don't foresee you guys, making a 50-page listing presentation, nor do I suggest it. I don't really think anyone wants to sit through a 50-page listing presentation. You guys are probably already ready to be done with my 15-page one. So 50 pages is not recommended. But again, you definitely want to get all the information you feel is important on there. So we're always here to help if you run into that issue where you need another page and you can't figure out how. And again, it just brands me again down here as the agent, which is nice. And then it puts the balloon in there too. And I think I put this picture in. No, I don't think I did. I think they put the picture in actually. So that's a nice feature. And then here's just a little part on Remax, which I'm actually going to read to you guys because I think this is a great thing that everyone should know. So Remax leads the industry in sales and has one of the world's most powerful brands, which is what Yanni and I was saying. Being named the #1 real estate brand opens doors. So that's a key point that you can also present to your buyers when they or your sellers, sorry, when they are, letting them know that being the #1 real estate brand opens doors for others that it might not. You'll be amazed at the power of the Remax balloon that the Remax balloon adds to any listing. It's one of the most iconic corporate symbols in the industry. With Remax, you benefit from over 40 years of brand equity, billions of dollars in marketing, and millions of successful transactions. So again, you're just verifying what most people already know about Remax, but you're really hitting them hard with some stats there too.
And as you work through, it's a flow thing. As you work through this presentation with the prospective sellers, you should, at least as you start going or before you get into it, have an understanding of what matters to them and highlighting the things that matter and almost skimming through the things that maybe less, so you might be going hard on the brand thing if that's clear that that's something that they have a lot of value in. But for some people, it might be something like, and as you already know, Remax brand, best in the world, I'll keep it moving kind of thing. But some people want to know exactly where you're marketing to. Some people just want to hear that it's out on the internet, and it's making those little adjustments in the real world that I think helps make the difference with some of these things. So it helps you build that relationship because you have an understanding of who they are and what matters to them. And when you pluck that stuff out and really hammer it home as you're going through the presentation, the person is going to say, oh, okay, this person gets me. They know that what I care about. And that's what's going to allow them to feel confident in trusting you with their largest, the sale of their largest asset. It's not something small. Was that the last page, Megan?
That was. Obviously, I definitely recommend putting your page about yourself at the back, just so they have that, and that's the last thing that they see. I think that is always wise, or duplicating it or making an end page if that's what you want. But yeah, so that's kind of the overview of the listing presentation, but it's kind of a hidden feature. I definitely don't think a lot of people are leveraging this as much as they should be. Um, I think Yanni was the one that showed it to me actually. So I definitely suggest using it and getting in there. And, this is just one of probably 1,000 different pieces in Megaphone that you can use. Um, but I highly, highly suggest playing around with it. Have some fun with it too.
Let's see. Anybody have some questions too? We have some time left. I'd love to hear any questions, thoughts, ideas, concerns, and then really what I recommend is that anybody that really wants to dive into this, set up some time over the next few weeks with Megan before we head into the spring market. You have a nice, fresh, crisp, even if you want her to look at what you have already or what you're working with, we can certainly review things, add, subtract. But as we head into this spring market, you want to be ready and ready to compete. And Remax is really doing a good job, I think, at this point of providing a lot of these tools. Megaphone is incredible, not just for this piece, but there's automatic listing social posts that you can set up. I know that I've had some questions about that. And you can set it up right in Megaphone to post information about your listings automatically on Facebook and stuff like that. So any questions, thoughts, concerns, ideas? Anybody want to share a hidden talent that they've been working on recently? I'm learning a couple new juggling tricks. I'll be ready to share in no time. I'm sure everybody's excited about that.
I'm counting down the days. Yeah, just to hit home, we're always here for you guys to help. I think sometimes we get forgotten about, which makes me sad. I like to think I'm not forgotten about, but we're always here to help, guys. We're here 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. Give us a call. Don't let something small that you get stuck on stop you. We're here. If we're not in meetings, we'll pick up the phone and answer your questions, walk you through the steps, set up a video meeting. We're doing in person if that's what you prefer. We're doing video if that's what you prefer. But we're always here to help any way we can. And if we don't know the answer, we find it. So
we had a question about a presentation for buyers. Looks like Megaphone largely focuses on like listing information and stuff like that. But we can certainly talk about that buyer consult and how you want to approach that, because I believe that using some of this stuff could be a good example. They're going to want to see what kind of work you're going to be putting in for them and see some of the examples of what you've done in the past, some of your victories and stuff like that. Oh, we got this one negotiated and just sold in a week kind of thing. But yeah, Anne-Marie, we can dive into stuff like that.
Yanni, on that question that Anne-Marie had.
Yes, sir.
Right. If you log into Remax University and you put in the title bar buyer presentations, you'll get varieties of different samples.
Awesome. Wow. Thank you, Mr. John. I love how you're using that Remax University. That's another app. If you get stuck and you can't get a hold of me or you don't want to get a hold of us, Remax University, it's great. They reinvented it. And now it's like searching in Google, but just for Remax stuff and Remax questions. So I didn't even know that. That's awesome, Mr. John. I'm so glad.
Yeah, you just put it in as the topic and you'll see a list of different things to examine. Some of them may even be a formal presentation.
Yes. Yes. And that's kind of a one-on-one thing too, Anne-Marie. If if they don't have something, we do our best to find something and create something for you. I'm not a wizard at any of it, but we can definitely get something that meets your needs and helps you to do your job the best that you can. So definitely reach out with those kind of questions. Really, I want to say the sky's the limit. I like a good challenge. So any ideas are welcome. If I don't know, we'll figure it out together.
And it looks like, and I logged in there really quick, Mr. John. It looks like, yeah, they have a bunch of uh, essentially courses and stuff like that. And there might actually also be a few templates, but it'll walk you through some of these buyer consults and stuff like that. Yeah. Like Megan's saying, the way that they've redesigned Remax University, I've found it to be pretty useful. A lot of the content had existed before, but the way that they have it organized is a lot more accessible. And for agents that we're working with, we're experimenting with some stuff. There's ways to assign classes to people and stuff like that. So if we have continued meetings, there's ways to assign some of this information, and that way we can keep everybody accountable. Like, you better watch it, you know?
Yeah. Make sure you're doing your homework. I thought those days were over, but unfortunately they're not. Still got homework. Does anyone have any other questions for us?
I just want to ask Yanni. Yanni, did you get my private message on posting the link to the disc test? I'd like to close with that as we get to the end.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Let's do it.
Can you send it to everybody? And I'll just talk about it for a minute.
Sure thing.
Okay, guys. I think it's in the chat box now, right?
Yes, sir.
Good. Yeah. I'm sending this link because one of the things that I did in the midst of snowfalls and whatnot, and delayed openings and COVID-related cancellations, was I retook my own disc test. I last took it about 5 or 6 years ago, and I wanted to see if I got older, if I changed, and I did. So one of the reasons I'm bringing this up is we are now in a generation where there are 4 different generations of buyers and sellers out there. And the relatability is going to become extremely important. So I think Yanni just sent that link to everybody. Tony Robbins offers a disc test free of charge. It takes about 20 minutes to do. At the end of it, you get a 10 or 11 page shorthand report on how you relate to yourself and to different generations. If you wanted to elaborate on that, for an additional $60, you get a 55-page report on yourself and how you relate to people. One of the goals I have made this year is to study this and be able to talk intelligently one-on-one with any of you that want to explore this in terms of building customer relationships. So I invite you to take at least maybe the 10 or 11 pager at the beginning for free. And then if you like what you read, because they'll tell you your disc style, whether you're a DI, whatever you are. And then if you decide to, download the bigger one, which will really dive into you as a person and the people that you may relate to. It's probably worth a good exercise in knowing yourself and knowing the folks that you may be interacting with. We are now in a generation where the boomers, the top age of a boomer now is 75. Right? The current boomers are 58 to 75. The generation of the Gen Xers are 42 to 57. These are the trade-up buyers. They are the double transaction buyers. They're buying the next home and selling the underlying one. And then finally, the current sweet spot of the new home buyers is 28 to 41. And those folks are the millennials, and they are huge. And they will be the biggest buyer population right now, probably for the next 2 or 3 years. And even the Gen Zers are moving into the market. The oldest Gen Zers are 27, and right now for the buying population, they're probably between the ages of 23 and 27. Relating to these groups will be important. So I'm happy to work with you one-on-one on your own disc. Just an invitation, no pressure, but I think you'll find it self-revelatory and worthwhile. So good luck with it. I hope you take a look at it. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I'm a fan of that. I did the disc test a few years ago, so I'm going to definitely check this out.
Take the new one, it's cool.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to take it. Why not?
Has anybody done it before? Has anybody done a disc test before, Anne-Marie? Okay. Anybody want to share any results?
I did.
Ellen did. Okay. What do you, Ellen? Do you know?
Yes. What would you guess I am?
Dude, that's I see or something like that.
That's correct. I see.
Ooh, look at that.
Yeah,
What a leader. No one
you
is.
know it. Okay.
Anybody want to guess mine?
Well, I.
And D, and
Yeah,
I.
you're an ID.
Okay.
By the way, I'm an IS and I used to be an ID.
Mm.
Well, see, in mine, it didn't tell me what I was really. It was pretty general,
Oh, that's why you should take the one I just recommended.
but that's the one I did.
You did? Then did you look at it real carefully? Because page 3 will tell you who you are.
It says my distal is coach.
Okay, so you're an I. It starts
That's
with
an I.
that.
Okay.
But you're probably an IS. That's my guess.
Okay.
You could be a tough coach and you'd be an ID, like Becky. And if you're a conscientious coach, you'll be like Ellen, and I see.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's there's an old thing, know thyself. You know, it's
Yes.
important. It's I think
And
it's
to thine own self be true.
yeah.
Okay. Outta here.
What else? What else we all have? Anybody have any questions, thoughts? I miss seeing everybody's face. Thank you for showing up on camera, Chris and Debbie and Miss Pat. It's always a pleasure to see you and your grandson in the background somewhere. You know, helping you out.
There's Ken. Ken, his wife. How you
Ken and
doing?
Marie in the
Hey,
house.
Marie, good.
So good to see everybody. Thanks so much, Michelle Eckert, Tammy. We had some of the Motto crew on, Terry Healy, and
Yeah, we had up to 33 people up there. Great.
Tammy was in the mix for a bit. So yeah, we're here to help always. We know that this time of year is a kind of working on your business as opposed to in your business type of time. And it's really important to get this kind of stuff done before the market kicks off, you know, right? So we're here to set up meetings. This ends up being our busy time with this kind of stuff. So we're primed and ready to go. We're excited. Remax has really been coming through for us. We're working one-on-one with tech solutions rep from Remax over the last couple months, and lots of cool stuff kind of continuing to come down. They understand, they have some really cool stats. I'll try to follow up with some of these, but the agents that use the tech outperform the rest of the agents. That's just, it's a pretty crazy percentage. I'll have to find it exactly so I don't misquote it. And I won't say that it's solely because of the use of the tech, but it's often indicative that they're doing other things right as well. So get engaged, dive in, learn these tools. They're available to you. They're here for your help. They're here to be a part of your business plan. And again, business plan, another buzzword this time of year. Mr. John is the expert and he's been hosting classes. So I hope that people are taking advantage of that stuff. It is so important to look back at your business plan, set goals, understand what it takes to reach those, and implement. And it takes that consistent work every single day. Everybody understands and knows the compound effect, and your actions are compounding. Each decision compounds over time, and we're all working to be better versions of ourselves. So
I got to say, Yanni, John did the business planning class here in Carroll County in the Westminster office, and it got rave reviews. I mean, even some of the old timers that don't attend too many classes attend it, and they loved it. So it was a great class.
Awesome.
that's laughing at the
Well,
old timers.
referring to you, Pat.
I hear you.
You're young, Pat. You're
Besides,
young.
we had fun too. So that's good.
All right, before we end, I'm gonna send you guys in the chat, and this helps us, but it also helps you. It's our Google Business Review links per office. We love to hear your feedback, about the digital marketing team, about your manager, about Remax Advantage Realty as a whole. And even if you have never left a Google review before, I highly suggest you go and leave us one. Obviously, we would love 5 stars, but the brighter light we shine ourselves in, the brighter light we can shine you guys in. And that's where that starts. So that's the first thing I just sent. So everybody go give us a great review of just Remax and Advantage Realty in general. It doesn't have to be about the digital marketing team. but we're trying to grow our presence. And then the next link I'm going to send you guys is a link to my calendar for the next week of my open availabilities. So if you're looking to schedule a meeting, click on there. It'll tell you what I have available from, I think, now until the end of next week. And if that doesn't work, just shoot me an email if you can't find a good time. But we're happy to help set up those one-on-ones and just also increasing our footprint with the Google business. And if you don't have your Google business set up, leave a review, then click the link to set up a meeting with me and we'll get you all set up.
That's a brilliant point, and I think it's a good example that Megan's setting for all of you with your clients as well. So Google and the way the SEO works, search engine optimization, is it weights very heavily the Google business reviews. So if you want to be showing up high up in these Google searches, this is how it's done. And what we need from you all, because as Megan's saying, we shine brighter, you all shine brighter as we look to keep our name at the top, which helps everybody. This is how it's done. So yes, it must be a 5-star review. We accept nothing less. And anytime that there's a little bit of a narrative of something specific, and I know some people have done very good ones. Ken, I know you've left some in the past, and they're very appreciated, and we use them as content as well, because we want to share with the world what we have to offer and who you all are. We're always looking to grow this, as we've been around for quite some time, as many of you know, and we're just getting warmed up for this next leg. So by helping us out with this kind of stuff, it's a good example for what you should be doing with your clients after your closings or settlements. Always, and ask for 5 stars. Don't be shy. Say, hey, need a 5-star review. If you don't feel comfortable with that, let's talk it through. But 5-star review, as everybody knows who shops on Amazon, you're looking at those reviews. Yeah. a couple prime degenerates in the house. So, you're looking at those reviews. That stuff matters very deeply. So we appreciate y'all.
And if you don't feel like we deserve 5-star reviews, we want to hear that from you in our inbox, not necessarily on our Google business, but we want to talk about it because it's also an opportunity for us to grow and learn and make improvements. And that's the beginning conversation of feedback for you as well when you're talking with your clients. If they aren't comfortable with that, all right, well, why not? Let's talk about it. Let's fix this. So yeah, it's a big opportunity to grow. If you don't have a Google business, there's your other opportunity. Let's get one set up. Let's get you seen. Google is the most used search engine. So we want to get you up at the top, and we want to be at the top too.
Kathy, you had a comment question?
I just have a comment. I had some repairs done on my car a couple weeks ago, and then when he handed me the invoice, he said, and if you would be happy to give me a Google review, that'd be great. And I said, well, you know what you should do? You should create a QR code and smack it right there on the invoice. So when people by the time they get to their car, you get the review. Well, I was there yesterday. He didn't do the cards as I suggested, but he had laminated in front of both the cash registers his QR code for his Google review. And he said, great tip. Thank you so much. I've gotten several since you recommended that a few weeks ago.
That's awesome.
That's great advice. Yeah. Has anybody seen ours? Megan has done that for each office. We have cards, QRs, real easy to do. She can guide you through that process as well. That's a great point. Eliminating the barriers, right, for people and making it as easy as possible and kind of guiding them through it. Cause some people will shake it off and be like, yeah, sure. I'll fill out the survey, and they never do. So get it while it's hot, get them while they're happy, and just remind them that this, as we do on all of our emails and stuff like that, this is a referral business. And in today's technology world, as people are searching through the internets, that's how you show up, and that's how people get you. Yeah.
Great. Just one more comment. I just recently sold my home, and I never got a listing presentation from the realtor, and it's been since July, and she keeps sending me a survey, but it's the wrong email address. She wants me to write her a Google review, but she wants me to do the survey first. And I just keep shaking my head because I'm like, we've been going through this since November. So it is important to be crisp, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Keep it simple. That's why we kind of push on the Google reviews. I know it's gone back and forth, Zillow, this and that, but Google's here to stay. It's one of the biggest companies on the planet. And it's integrated in so many other pieces. So it's, yeah, I think that's a good point. You want to look good. You want to look crisp when you're pushing it out and make it as easy as possible. They don't want to click 25 different things and fill out all kind. Make it real easy. Use your camera, boom, opens it up, call it a day. So yeah, that's a great point, Kathy. Thank you.
All right.
What else we got? Anything else? Anybody want to turn on their camera as we finish up and say hi? Because we miss all of you. I know Krista has some excuse, right? Chris over there. Steve, it's great to see you, bro. Are you in Fulton today? Looks like it. You're muted, but it's
Hey, all right, I can join.
yeah, just for
Go,
now.
handsome.
Wait a
Good
minute,
to see
I'm
you,
yelling
buddy.
at Felicia's computer. Okay, yeah,
It's gonna be calendar time.
we're in Maple
Calendar
Lawn.
time
How's
for you and
everybody
me,
doing?
Steve.
Good, man. Good to
Got to
see
turn
you.
mine on?
We can hear you.
You're on. Oh, now you're off.
Tammy Lemke, good to see you. Okay. Trish driving and taking and getting it in. I love it. Robin,
Hey,
no
Trish.
worries.
Good.
You hear me
No
now?
worries. Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you now, Steve.
Everybody now?
Got
You're
you.
in Fulton.
Oh, I gotta turn my volume up.
Got such a, you should be like a radio host or something, Steve. You got such a nice nice
All right.
voice.
Enough of the jokes.
All right.
I can hear you now.
Well, thanks
care,
everybody for
everybody.
all the time. Yeah, we'll see y'all soon. Give us a shout if you need anything. Take care.
Thanks, guys.